Welcome back, everyone. Hi, welcome. This is I'm Carolyn, and this is Stitching in the Delta. So today I'm going to record the WIP parade from, well, I've got everything pulled out. So probably 2019 up until this month. Today is January 7th, 2025. So the reason I say it kind of starting at about 2019 is I have spent a couple of, like, a big long weekend back in November or December, spent a couple of weekend days here and there in December really cleaning out my space and my stash. We moved about a year and a half ago to a new house, and I have been spending that time really reclaiming my space. Over the last couple of months, it got way out of hand, giving everybody my space, and so here we go. So now there's no particular order. I do have my WIP list up. I'm using a Trello board this year. Trello is a free application online. You can get an app for your phone or your iPad, any of your devices, and it's a project management board. So you create lists on it. It's very visual, but you create lists, and on the list you have a card, and I have a card for each project, and there I've got labels denoting the designers, some of them, not all of them, some designers, linen, floss, pattern, so what I've got for it. You can put a start date and an end date, and then a checklist, basically. And so it's a really nice little free application. It is free. There are paid portions to it if you'd like that, but I've been able to use all of it free and kind of straighten up my stuff. And really it's helpful because I could go to the store with my phone and look up the application, and I've got the pattern name, and then I can go online and look up the pattern or the floss, or if I have the pattern I can go to, and I'm at the store, I can look at the back of the pattern and get the floss list. If I know I need fabric, I'm missing that label, all kinds of things. And I actually have a list for shopping. Anyway, so I've got my, I'm going to be going from my computer as well as my cross-stitch journal, which has been going pretty strong for, oh my goodness, a while. I guess 2019. Yeah, when they came out with these. It's almost, this one is almost full, and I will share that about halfway through, I stopped listing things, and that's what didn't help with the chaos. So at a certain point, I am going to say that was during the chaos time, and that was anywhere from 2020 through about 2023 or 4 or so. So anyway, so Trello boards over here, I've got my list. I don't have pictures for a few things, so I may have to show them to you on my phone. And I'm using my iPad to record, so I have no idea where to look to make sure that all the things. So, yay. And we do have lemonade in my sparkly cup. So, there we go. We're gonna start with what I do know is some of the oldest things. There we go. Now, some of these are from 2019, 2020, mostly 2019, maybe even some 2018 in here. I don't like to assume things. So there we go. Please excuse the background noise. My husband's doing some things in the next room. Oh, as with these, as with WIP parades, there will be a lot of unzipping, and zipping. The project bags that I have been moving to, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. It's the ones off Amazon that have the 2 pockets and the handle. You can get a set of 10 for relatively inexpensive. I adore them. I have found that they are they're what I need. I don't have to deal with separate little bags for notions or whatever. I can put all that in the front pocket. The back pocket will fit 8.5 by 11, and your 9 by 13s, and pretty nice. I also put on tags from Office Depot, so you're going to hear that. And I have been tagging my thread. We have a toddler, and she likes to play with the colors, and so she'll grab my thread and run. So I have been tagging my floss rings and all of that. So you're going to see some random things. Okay. So this first one is, well, I put It's So Emma on it, but it was basically a fat quarter shop piece, Serendipity Sal. I don't know if they still have this up online anywhere. Let me see if I can look it up to get the picture. Well, that's the quilt along. Anyway, they did a quilt along and a stitch along for this one. This was Fat Quarter Shop's yearly charity event for Make-A-Wish in Central and South Texas. And typically there is a free pattern, but they suggest you donate money, and they did a kit with the floss and a cool little needle minder and some other things. This was the original pattern. There we go. I chose not to do it on the dark blue fabric. I chose to do it on a 28 count natural. I probably got this from Hobby Lobby, feeling of it, but that's okay. I was exploring linen at this time, and so the nearest cross stitch shop is about an hour and a half away. I've got 2 others that are within 2 and 2.5 hours away, and so Hobby Lobby to buy linen I could explore and try out, see what I liked. So this is the 28 count natural, and I did 2 over 2. So there we go. And probably about 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on row 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 bands. And the Flying Geese band actually repeats. So I think I might be more happy with it if I did it on the darker color, but I have a hard time seeing that. Anyway, I do like it. It's still something that I want to complete someday. I don't know. Oh, but here we go. So I only changed 1 color. Otherwise, I'm using the called for Weeks Dye Works. Here we go. But their light gray in it was the same color, so I switched one of them out for aged pewter. There's my tag, and I put a little bird on it because I thought they were cute. This one I am going to be moving to whatever I do for Valentine's Day, because that's my little lovebirds. So, I do remember that that one was in 2019 because I still had my Nissan, and we sold it in 2020. So there we go. My next piece is also It's So Emma, and if I take things out of bags, it's going to take forever. Just my type. This is a really cute piece if you're getting into cross stitch or you want something for Valentine's Day, and I may try to sneak this into February and finish it, or at least spend a day on it. I don't quite know what my WIP Go / boards / whatever plans are, and I would like to number everything and either do random number generator, or the what is the app called? There's Tiny Decisions, whatever, or WIP Go. I joined in February, I don't know. So this is where I am. Less than half. If I'd finish the mailbox and then that part of the 2 hearts, I'd be half. But this was one of my last pieces on Ada. So white Ada, because that's what I thought you had to do, with the called for Cosmo. Plus it probably calls for white Ada, or whatever could, stark white. Anyway, there are the colors. I love those teals. It's very It's So Emma colors. 2/2 on 14 count. Also in this bag, not a WIP, but I'm gonna use the same colors to do Eat, Sleep, Stitch, Repeat. Also It's So Emma. I don't know if I'm gonna use the Ada that I have with it, but I want to do those colors, and then that will probably be done with those flosses and this particular projects. So those were not the called for colors or flosses with that particular pattern. I'm sorry if I said that those were not. Those were a Cosmo kit or Cosmo floss kit that my mom had gotten with another typing project that I had bought her. There was a kit that came with, it was a picture of a typewriter and a set of Cosmo floss. Mom had never used them, so I thought it would be cool for her to try out, and so it's the remainder floss. That floss has been gone through. Well, if we finish with the 3 projects, that'll be 3 projects with it. So I think that's pretty awesome and a good use of floss. So Cosmo is really nice if you're looking for a new floss that's kind of like DMC. So I did enjoy stitching on it. That was a time where I was switching from Ada over to linen, and once I hit linen, yeah, okay. So this next one has my favorite DMC, which is 355. I love that color. And this is Autumn Charm by Scissor Tail Designs. There we go. Autumn Charm. It's a cute little pattern, and there's a little charm that goes in the middle, and I have no idea where it is. It's somewhere in my sewing world. And if I ever finish this pattern, I may try to find it. It may actually be over there. Anyway, again, Ada, but this is kind of a creamy color Ada. It's very stiff. I remember why I wanted to go from Ada to linen once I figured out that I could. One of these days, and if I put it on a board somewhere and make myself do it, I might. And this one actually is using the called for floss. And I have everything stored in a little plastic baggie. But, except for 355. I love 355. It's my favorite red. I guess because it's more autumny than, you know, it's not like a bright red. But, okay. This one is in my book. May 2019. Bought in Memphis. Here we go. It's Christmas. This next one actually may be end up being a UFO, and that is okay. This is a free pattern from Little House Needleworks. So I'm just gonna flash it real quick. There we go. It's called Sweet Little Berries. It says, deep in the field under bright sunny skies, grow sweet little berries for jellies and pies. And it's got a couple of birds on it and a basket of berries. And I thought it was so cute. It is copyrighted 2003 and is probably available on their website. Again, Little House Needleworks. Free pattern. It called for 28 count summer khaki with, that's how old it is, crescent colors, but of course classic colorworks. And plastic bags. I do upgrade pretty quickly from this. This is in this. This was one of my first explorations into classic colorworks, I think. Ooh, Mana Red. Another favorite. There we go. That's the white. Bamboo. Clay pot spinach. There's some good ones in here. 14 count Ada. Oh, this one had a thread pack. Okay, Stitchers had put together a thread pack, or they had gotten thread packs for them for this. Oh, so the pattern must have come with the thread pack. Okay, possibly. Yeah. If I get another spinach, I think I may restart this on 36 count and make a little pillow, because I only got this, and this is pretty crunchy Ada, and I'm not loving it. I've already marked it as a restart on my Trello board, because I do like the pattern and I do like the strawberry idea, and I think it would make a cute little pillow. So maybe in the future, but definitely a restart on some different fabric. let me pull out this one. And then we're going to do a Christmas section. So, the Stitcher hood. Yay. Quaker flag. This was 2019 or 2020 when everybody was doing Quaker flags. Oh. Oh my goodness. Classic Color Works, bamboo and licorice red? Yeah, licorice red. The other called for color was a blue. It called for DMC, but I did the Classic Color Work change to it. I don't remember which blue I used. And if you ever wanted to do this, it's a it was probably old blue jean would work or something. There's where I am. So this is when I got sick and tired of Ada, because I was like, oh, I could get some hand-dyed Ada. Yeah, and then I bought a bunch, and it's moved on. It's been rehomed. There we go. I do like the field of blue. I thought I did really good there. And maybe someday I'll come back and do stars. And a ton of stars. So. I really liked it when I started it. And I think after this, I moved to linen. Once I tried linen. So, just a turn. Quaker flag. Now, if you're ready, let's do a little Christmas. Oh, sorry. Little Christmas, little bit of Christmas. Some of this will be a mixture of interesting things. So, Lori Holt, Vintage Christmas Sampler. It's So Emma printed. But it's those little stitch cards that you can interchange and you can do with other things that she has done. This pattern does not hold good memories for me. I am doing it on some very, very crunchy oatmeal. Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Yeah. Not the 10 count, 14 count. Oatmeal. And I'm over halfway. I think if I sat down and actually did it, I would be done with it. Sorry, I'm putting the needle somewhere else. Anyway, okay, I'll pull that back up. So I've got to do Santa's face and then get the bottom row started, but not too shabby. Called for DMCs, which I did bobbinate, and the rest of them were actually on a ring on my little board back there. There's my, I'm pointing to it on the screen. There we go. There's my little ring of DMC, all bobbinated. I thought bobbinating was going to be the biggest thing, so I had my husband help me bobbinate everything. And then I figured out that I really did not like the bobbins, and mostly because the little kink that it puts in the thread. So I did not have him abominate any more for me after that. You may notice that some of these older things are not in project bags, and that is because I was not using project bags at the time. For those. More Christmas. This is Winter's Peace Sampler by Artful Offerings. I really fell in love with this piece when I saw it. The blues, the cool little alphabet down there, the little houses, oh, and those little birds. And the confetti is not single stitch confetti, it's little four squares. So I thought that was really cool. Did I even piece? I'm looking at my list. I do not have a date on it, but it's copyright 2022. So this was either a late 2022 start or they saw it, they had it and I saw it in 2023, probably 2022. I had already switched over to linen, and it looks like by this point I had already switched over to 36 count. Yeah, 36 count Silver Moon. Doesn't give a dyer's name on their card. And excuse the big old bed sheet. Yeah, so bottom left, just so y'all know, I don't know my left from my right now. So bottom right hand corner, start. There we go. Okay. Got a couple of letters. Start on one of the houses. It was probably a couple of days worth of stitching. Pretty okay, pretty decent. Definitely something that I liked. I love the linen. The linen fabric, the linen color is just, it's a really light, pale, I wouldn't even call it gray. Silver Moon is the perfect color. Perfect name for it. So, called for floss, which are mostly gentle arts. I think they may all be gentle art. Feels like there's a DMC in here for one of them, but pretty blues. So this one I do need to come back and I need to cut my thread in half and get it on its ring and get in the rotation, because I would love to have that up on the wall at wintertime. So, and I need to get it into a project bag because the Ziploc bag is not where it needs to be. Okay. Guess what, Bambi? I emptied a drawer. Okay. Who remembers these? Farmhouse Christmas. I have all of them. I planned out a big, huge to-do. I started it on Ada. Oh, wait a minute. Before I planned the big to-do, I started it on Ada. I cut all of the pieces to make little bitty things. I got 3 or 4 of them started, and I'm not that one of them may be even done. 14 count Ada. Whatever this brown color is, I don't remember. And then I realized that I really don't like this red. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. I like this red. But not for this. Not for this. I thought it was going to be dark. And so that is when I planned the big to-do. And I'm going to do something else with it. And I'd actually found this Pineberry Lane farmhouse Christmas sign to kind of go with it. Maybe? I don't know. So it is, this thing has been in timeout since a long time ago, with all of its little Ada pieces cut. And all the threads packed up in the little package, and it sits, and it will continue to sit until I decide what to do with it. I am probably going to back up and get a huge piece of 36 or 40 count linen, some new floss, or mostly new floss, and restart it as one big piece and do that instead of the little bitty ones. I also discovered in the process during that time that I don't like finishing. I like what the little pillows look like. I don't like the process of finishing. I've learned a lot about myself in the last couple of years. And you do that. You do as you're cross-stitching and doing different projects and all kinds of things. You learn about you, about your tastes, and about what you can do as a person and as a crafter. And I can sew, no problem. I can sew a pillow, no problem. I get very impatient at the very end because I just want it done. So, yeah, it's all good. I don't know. But there it sits. Hoop. Oh, a smaller hoop too. Okay. Here we go. Country Cottage Needleworks. Countdown to Christmas. And I have the coolest board that is like a wooden door that has a space big enough for this when it's done. So this is 14 count Ada. Whatever this is. And I do want to finish this. I've got the houses on the top done. And they need snow. and then the dates and the other things. It's a lot of red at this point. It's a lot of red and white and brown. If you wanted to know who bought all the bamboo years and years ago, that was me. Sorry. So I was going to pull this out actually this past Christmas and work on it. I had it on the list. I had it pulled out and I never opened it. And you think I would want to, I can do this stuff without magnifiers. So still this size. But yeah, whatever, it's okay. I'll pull that out again sometime. Oh. Hold on, pause. Excuse me. Closet of Wonder. Jingle All the Way, Little House Needleworks. If you see any prices, these prices are from years ago, so please ignore them. I got this at the Stitcher's Garden down in Central Arkansas. And there we go. I loved the barn. And then so the barn is stitched. The barn is stitched. The barn is done. The White House is not done. That's okay. And I love these little quilts that were in there. Oh. And the little horsey. That barn. Oh my goodness. And then, so I stitched it sideways. And then I heard someone say that a trick with barns is to stitch them up and down, vertical. And I went, oh, well, I did that barn so many years ago. This was copyright 2021, so it was probably, well, it was after that I got it. So this may be a 20, I don't even know why I'm doing that. 2022, 2020, probably 2022. 32 count, antique white for that one. Oh, okay. It was a big piece. I've already cut it off and I've already used the other half for something else that I think I've already finished. So, called for, mostly classic color works, a few DMCs. Here's that. What's the red in this one? Campfire. Used most of the red already. And if you're wondering about the long strands for these, when I do 2 over 2, I use the loop method. So, hence the long strand. Do I have any other information about that one? No, because I'm going to say that that one was in the time of great chaos. Yeah. Almost done with, nope. Never mind. this was this year's Christmas piece. Actually, my winter solstice start, because I had to. Oh, I just love this. I saw Sweetwater Stitcher showed it, and when she first showed it, it was like, nope, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Redbird. Deers. Oh my god, the pear. Yeah. I know she changed the house color to one of the colors that was in the... she changed her house color. I am probably going to also change mine. I like red houses, so I may change it to this 3830. I may also see if 355 works, or even cherry cobbler. So, but a mixture of Weeks, Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, and some DMCs. And I put a little candy cane charm with it for mine. So, and it is on a crunchy piece of linen. Let me go get that for you. Weeks Dye Works 36 count cocoa. And between the winter solstice, so between the 21st and the 31st, because I put it away and started my blessing sampler on the 1st of January, I got most of the second page done. I did start in the center. So I got the bird done and some of the Quakers, except for the bird's wing. It's long stitches, and I needed to do some thinking about that. So this one was fun. I couldn't put it down. I just didn't have enough time. When I had time, I couldn't put it down. So, whew. Very pretty. That one I do want to get back to. And I don't want to wait till next winter to do it. I may try to do it during the summer, and then that way it can be framed and ready to go. Another 2024 start, and this was supposed to be my December piece, but then Jingle Ball happened and I found Christmas Rose, which I will show another time. I found Christmas Rose in my cleanup right before the Jingle Ball and decided to do it. But I started this November 27th. This was supposed to be my December piece, and we will get back to it because I love it. But it is out of Home for the Holidays, Blackbird Designs. And it is Christmas Garden. And I did not expect to get it done this Christmas. I just wanted to get it going this Christmas. Here we go. Everything about this speaks to me. I do plan on putting some of my family names in it. A lot of people have done the women, moms and grandmothers, and that's what I may do. I started in the center and went down. So I've got that middle motif done. The next bird over to the left and started on that little pot. And then that is when I Jingle Ball. So this was just the first week of December was this part. Thanksgiving weekend, and then that first week of December. And then I finished Christmas Rose the rest of December and got it done before the solstice. And then I picked up the Peace and Goodwill and did that for the rest of December. So this one will come out sometime soon as something when I can get back to the regular rotation of stuff. Called for colors. There are only like 4 colors in this one, but you bought multiples of each color. So you do wanna, it is one of those where you have to buy everything at one time. If you're planning to do the overdyes, if you're planning to do a DMC conversion or something, then you don't have to, you can buy as you go. But I did decide to do that. I'm learning more about these particular colors, what I like and what I don't like, but I'm gonna stick it out because this was the plan. And there we go. I do not have any fancy bling for it. I do have a Blackbird floss bling, but I'm not going to put it on this piece. I wanted to put it on another one. That is a plan for the future. Guess I could find it and put it on this. So yay, this was beginning of December. Oh, 36 count R&R, 36 count, it says El Latte. There's an R&R fabric that has something, it's a big long word for the fabric. Let's see if I can look it up really quickly. If the phone. Ligonier, Ligonier latte. Yeah, it's pretty fabric. I would not say no to using it again in something else. It is very pretty. It was very lovely to stitch with. Aha. This was this next one was my spring start. I did this in March. I started this in March. And my plan was to get it done early and get it framed so I could hang it for Christmas. And yeah, I didn't. Blackbird Design Winter Wonderland, part of the Loose Feathers collection. Those geese. So we have a park near us in the city, in the town, and it has a lake in the middle of it, in the middle of the park, and the lake has geese, and there are geese that look just like this in the lake. And I thought, oh, how cute. Plus it's an alphabet, plus it's a house, plus the house roof has quilt blocks on it. Oh my goodness, everything. And the door of the house has something going on. I can't figure it out. There is a bonus pattern on this one that I may do someday. This one, I had a little purple bag, and I had gotten a little notions bag from the Stitching Post in Maryland. And so I don't think that's where I got it, but I liked that little stitching thing. And I put a little floss bling on it that has nothing to do with Blackbird Designs. That's Little House Needlework. Anyway, called for colors, Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Work, and some Gentle Arts sampler threads. And there we go. And for those of you tracking the red, that's Lancaster red, another favorite. Another reason to do it. 1/2 on 35 count, Peeps Lost Sheep by somebody. Whoever does Peeps Lost Sheep. It's a little crunchy, but I love it. So I have gotten a tiny bit of border, and I got it as quickly as I could over to that roof because I wanted to do the house. Because I figured if I got the house done, then life is good. And did I mention a toddler? She likes playing with the circles. She loves playing with my circles. And I don't mind her playing with the circles. I do mind her trying to put the little screws from the circles in her mouth. So anytime she's got a circle for a long period of time, she loses the, I take the screw. So, yeah. We'll go to Hobby Lobby and she'll want to, now that Christmas is over, we can go back to hanging out in the cross stitch aisle for a little while, and I let her play with all the circles. We're still in Christmas. For anyone who's still there. Snow Village. Yeah, I remember these. Oh, the Snow Village. I got the whole kit. I'm not going to show you all the patterns. I got the DMC thread. Oh, and Classic Color Works thread. And I got a little screw. We did not watch Scrooge this year. We did not get a chance to watch Christmas Carol because we have been watching The Grinch. We watch The Grinch one or two times a day for most of December. Not the old one, not the original one. The newer one with Cumberbatch. Her new best friend. She had to have a little Grinch doll and Max doll. And if we could find Grinch shoes in her size, she would have had those. And yeah, all the things. So Classic Color Works and some DMCs that I'm going to recard. I actually punched holes in a bunch of tags today to get this recarded. Or re-whatevered. This is on a big, huge everything together piece of fabric. I'm doing the everything together. Where is it? Where is it on here? I started this a long time ago. Probably right after they first came out. Anyway, it is on 14 count Aida. It's a dyed Aida. Picture this plus. And possibly the called for to do it all together. There we go. So I've got 3 of the smaller houses plus the center done. And I had started on the next house over here. And that was when I put it away. Not that long ago. Like, I probably pulled it out in July or August. And got a bunch, and got like one of the houses finished. Because one was not finished yet. So I do pull this one out every now and again. I really liked that one. That one and Farmhouse Christmas out of those sets. The Glitter Village didn't do, it was cute. I didn't do a lot. It didn't do a lot for me. The forest one at this around the same time, and it was cute, but didn't do a lot for me. But I liked that one. Yay, that's Christmas. Okay, we're almost up to the end of the first hour, so this would be a great time if you needed to take a break. You could go ahead and click pause, take a break, and come back to me. I am going to take a lemonade break. And here we are to part 2. Let's go ahead and start on Sal's and assignment stitching and see what that does. I'm kind of done. I'm kind of glad that I'm done with Christmas. I love Christmas stitching. I love the colors, but yeah, that's okay. One of my Christmas pieces, I actually did UFO. I had the Winter House Trio, and I didn't like anything about it. I was halfway done. When I was cleaning everything and bagging and organizing, and I just looked at it and went, nope, and put it in the trash. So I think I have the pattern. But it's gone. Another one. I have patterns for other things. This is just what has been started. We're not even going into the patterns. Next, what did I say? Assignment and stitch-alongs. There we go. Nancy the disorderly stitcher has several sales going on. 2 of her sales, main sales that she's hosting, are A Tisket a Tasket, which I love that song. Tisket a tasket, a pink and purple basket. Sorry, musician in me. And so once she announced it and she showed the pattern, I said, yes, please. Yes, please. It is Rosewood Manor. Now, picture this all in blues and grays. And yeah, I'm going to show you in a minute. So if you like blues and grays, this is it. I am doing this one for, he won't like it, but for my husband. And for possibly the dining room. Here are the colors. I am doing the weeks, but I have gone ahead and pulled them off of their weeks cards. I have the cards somewhere, maybe, because there were multiples and the ring was very thick and very cumbersome. But I did go ahead and combine them into individual tags. So here are the colors. This is a preview of the linen. Isn't that glorious? And a little floss bling snow sunflower that my daughter picked out at Michael's. She found that and liked it. And here is my start. I have, it's broken up into 12 months. I did not start with where the assignment started. Mostly because the fabric is cut a little tight. And so I started in the middle. So my basket is done. I've gotten down to the inside border and I've started on the flowers. There we go. She is beautiful. I like stitching on her. I like stitching on the fabric. I have to have really, really good light. And when summer comes, or actually when January is over, I will be able to get back to it. So my plan is to do a little bit each month on that. I may not do the whole block that they've assigned, but at least enough to where I can say I've done something. And where is it in here? A Tisket, a Tasket, Rosewood Manor. It is on 36 count, one more reproduction. Which, yes, I would use this fabric again. It's pretty. This is what I love. And I've done September, October, and November for me, if I cut it. I skipped December. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I guess those are months that I touched it. So, get everything back together. And that was a working copy. I've got my real pattern put away. And that way I can write all over the working copy as needed. The other Sal that she's hosting, the other stitch along, is my first Hawk Run Hollow, which of course calls for every DMC ever made. Including my other favorite red, 3777. There we go. There's all of them. And it's Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. And my whole puncher was a little small. Like I have a smaller one, and so I ended up splitting. After I cut everything, I split it in half so I could do it in 2 holes. So Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. Now this was our leap year. This is the leap year Sal that she's hosting. And again, working copy. So yes, it's black and white, but just picture it. I kind of drew on it. So I could draw on it. And the way that she split it up is really nice. So each block is 4 months. And that's middle block is over 8 months. And that way it's manageable little by little and we can accomplish it. I have done most of the year. We started back February and or March. This was March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. There we go. 2 blocks completely done. Those little blue fish, I had to stitch them like 3 times. I got them in the wrong place. Then I got the wrong color. And there's November, December, January, February. Started, not completed. This is my first thing to get back to after I'm done with my blessing sampler at the end of January. So it actually has an entire drawer all to itself. Well, I lie. It and a Tisket and Tasket actually live in the same drawer. So, a few other things. So that one was started back in February. Hawk Run Hollow, Carriage House. not due to be done until 2028. Thank goodness. But that's okay. Atomic Fibers Aslan is the fabric. Is that yellow fabric. And the reason I did it is if you look at the picture, the background is yellow in the picture. Autumn gold. I don't remember the fabric that it's called for. You can't get it. It's a unicorn. And yeah. I have a lot of naval people in my family. My dad was National Guard. His dad was Army. So kind of our side of the family is a lot of Army, but my aunt, my mom's sister, her husband was Navy, her son was Navy. I've got cousins that were Navy, lots of other Navy people around us. And I may actually gift it to a family member after I'm done with it. I don't know yet. If I keep it, our local antique shop has a huge, nice, big, nice size picture, antique picture of a British naval vessel in the ocean. Yeah. Okay. We can do this. Those are the sows. Let's talk about, or, wait a minute, hold on. Get this higher up. I'm missing a bag. Pause, please. Not all the sows. One more. Sorry. And I have to go to Etsy to pull up the picture. There we go. Hannah Atwater. That's a bad picture. There we go. Let's see if that one. Hannah Atwater. Mama Loves You GB from over across the pond. This was an antique that she reproduced. Very few colors required. And I went, yes. Lots of flowers, but that's okay. Very few colors required. All DMC. Their Evertone in Canada has a conversion, I think, for Roxy Flosco. I was gonna get it, but then anyway, I didn't. It's on 40 count platinum. Whoever does platinum, I don't remember. But here are the DMCs. Here is platinum. The purple is not a true purple. I mean, there we go. And that deep blue. Oh, yeah. Needle bling. Since it didn't have any letters except for the name, I decided to put an alphabet with it. There we go. This was going to be my don't, when did they start the sale? November? This was going to be my November stitch. And then I got distracted. Like I didn't even write it down, distracted. When did I start it? I didn't write it in this book. I wrote it on my Trello board. And oh, December 1st. Yeah, they started it December 1st. I was like, okay, I can or something. November, December. There's a Facebook group. There's a Sal. The Facebook group is being hosted by Caroline from Evercoat in Canada. She's posting lovely pictures of her progress, and this is my first 40 count. No, second 40 count piece. My first piece is in here. It's a failure. I I had to go buy some new readers to do this much. There's my start. Yeah. There's lots of hope in here. I love it because of the flowers. And I'm going to get back to it. But I had to go buy go buy some new readers. What bag is this? Hold on. Oh. I'm trying to put it in a wrong bag. No, you stay there. Oh. Scissors. Sorry. I did get some 28 count needles, or 28 size needles for it. So I've got it in a dot goose bag. And so the sunflower bag, love it, yellow dots. This is the bag that I had a pattern in it and on the plastic or on the vinyl, and it actually did stick. So if you hear stories, I'm one of those stories. I've got the pattern electronically, and that was one of my first problems. I need a paper pattern. So I already have the paper pattern printed, and I need to switch bags and all kinds of things. So that's all the Sals. So we've done a long time ago, Christmas and Sals. Yay. I appreciate anybody who's still hanging around. If you're stitching something, go ahead and put in the comments what you're stitching. I wish I could be stitching. Nine more to go. This is also an assignment for me. This is not from anywhere else. My maiden name is Smith, and when I first saw this, I went, oh, I got to do that. And I got to do this for my brother and sister-in-law. Their anniversary, their 25th wedding anniversary is this coming fall, 25 and 25. And so the Smith sampler. So this is going to be their wedding gift or their anniversary gift. I first saw this as a kit on Etsy, and I went, ooh, I must have that. But I couldn't afford the kit. So I did get the pattern. I got some great fabric, and I am doing the DMCs. The called for is a set of silks from different people, Gloriana, whoever, and I don't mind silks, and I've got silks for other things. But I wanted the DMCs, and there is 3777 again. That's my second favorite red, by the way. Okay, so there's the threads. Here's the fabric with the threads. Isn't that pretty? There we go. And I started in the middle because I wanted to get the 1/1 done. And I may undo some of the 1/1. I don't like the white 1/1. And I don't know why. So, like the letters have been done. But not some of the white. And maybe I just need to trust the process. It's okay. Get some of those out of the way. So I did start in the middle. There we go. And then I went up. And so I've got page 5 and about half of page 2. So that was kind of what I assigned myself, because there's 12 pages, so I'm doing 1 page at a time. 5 is done. 2, I've got to get up to the border, and then the border is included in those particular pages. So once January gets done, then I am back on this one too. So it's probably going to be Shores of Hawthorne Hollow I do towards the end of the month. Tisket a Tasket, and this one I'll probably do towards the middle or beginning of the month. And then the rest of the month. But I want to get this done for them. Because they're such wonderful people. And they do so much for everybody. And it is on, let's see, called for DMC. I started in November. I did November and half of December. So if you have one of these cross-stitch journals from Fat Quarter Shop, on the time tracker, I did not list out the times. I don't track my time. I broke up the months, and that way I can mark off the months. And I've got half of December done, and that's fine. I started it on November 15th of this year. Last year. Did I say 36 count winter brew? Got that at Shepherd's Needle. Okay. That's Sal's and kind of assignments because they have a due date. Now we can get back to the works in progress list. The things that yeah, okay. We're going to start with this one because it's my other Dot Dot Goose bag. The patriotic bag from, a long time ago. Mason jars. Back when I was trying to do the mason jars. Never did the mason jars. Can't stitch on black. Absolutely cannot stitch on black. Not enough magnifier or light in the world for me to stitch on black. Imagine this in color. Wombat Stitching on Etsy. That little shop has tons of these little patterns that are little samplers. Letters, house, border. This one's got sheep. And a big willow tree. I love the willow tree. Yeah. And not very big. 145 by 170. Not very big at all. So I grabbed a piece of Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray that I had in the stash. 36 count. And I grabbed the DMCs because I probably had most of them in the stash, and went and bought whatever I didn't have, and I started her. I fell in love with the purple, and I can't wait for the willow tree, and I can't wait for the other things. The border, you got to watch out for the border. The little, those things are the same. These are not. Those are not the same. So you have to watch. Because I've already taken several out. But yeah. I've got that done. Almost done. I may skip over and go ahead and try to get the house done. And yeah, so this one I've got, even though I've gotten that vinyl front bag, it's a printed pattern, or like a printer pattern. It's not a shiny pattern. I don't feel like it's going to stick as much. There's those DMCs. Pretty purple, orange, green, yellow. All the things, brown. Yeah. So the other thing I've got is when I bag this, I kind of have the pattern protected by all the other stuff. So if you do have hot cars, or if you leave things in hot places, don't have your pattern right up against that vinyl. Otherwise, I love those. I love them. Where next? Here we go. Teresa Kogut. Because you're probably thinking, where's Teresa Kogut? I have several of her things that I plan to start this year. The Sacred Heart piece. I want to do that this summer. I have several things. This one I started last year and quickly learned that why you make working copies. Because this is like, it's like a dog chewed it up. Pet all the dogs. What's not to like? Big house, cool trees, letters, red, dogs. Yeah. We've had 3 main dogs in our family. We've lost 2 in the last year and a half. One was about 12 years old, diabetic, Jack Russell Terrier. She's my Abby. She's my baby girl, middle child. Lost her a year and a half ago. Our oldest child, or the oldest, we let him go in November. He was 16. Our third is Bambi. She's here. She's in the floor down here in her little bed. Chihuahua Dachshund. We've also fostered several dogs, and we fostered a couple of cats. So here's where I am on this one. Mostly it's Weeks Dye Works with a couple of DMCs. I like that she does that. She does a good mixture of DMC in there. And some of her pieces are mostly DMC with just a few over dyes. So I do have the house done. Which is good. I may have to go buy more red, and that's okay, because that is one of the DMCs, and it's 221. I have this much left. Yeah. I am doing it on a 32 count, though. So it is 2 over 2, and that's taking up a lot of a lot of my thread. It's called for 1/2 on 35 count. I'm very sorry if I flashed anything as I went away, as I moved it. So it is called for 1/2 on a 35 count. I was not ready to move up to 35 or 36 count when I started that. And oh, there's no village. Started 2020. Where is... Now remember that between 2020 and 2022, I had not just chaos. There was great chaos. So not everything was written down. Some things were just done because they were. So I don't know when this was started. But as you can see, I'm over halfway. So it is perfectly fine. I want to get back to it eventually because this was one of the pieces that was sitting next to the couch that I worked on all the time. So eventually I will get back to that. Okay. Clarissa Beaumont. This is one that is, as soon as I saw the pattern, I went, yes, please. Got this at Stitchers Inc. in Memphis. That's one of the local shops, several hours away, but local, as much as I can get. Excuse the glare. Love everything about it, especially the little puppy and the little kitty. And the moths, butterflies, things. The light blue in it is just cute. So let me see where I can... Did I write this down? No. And do not know when I started it. I am doing it with the called for DMCs that I put on little homemade floss tags that are just cardstock. And I've got a little coffee bling. If the coffee bling is on it, that probably means it was a spring start. This year, last year, some year, no idea year. But I've got to cut the threads down because they're way too long. There's the fabric. The fabric's got a green tinge to it, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. Again, didn't write it down. Mystery something. It's okay. It's a big fat quarter. I'm going to be able to get half of it out of her. And there's my start. Lower right-hand corner start. And I'm kind of surprised at myself. I've got to the dog's feet. And then I started that little pot. And one thing I need to do on it, I need to go ahead and get the border done, and then I can cut the fabric. And that will help tremendously. And I need to get my threads cut in half because they're too long. So that's Clarissa Beaumont. And I'm saying it very American Southern. It's probably like Beaumont or something. I don't know. Go ahead and do this one. Another one done in the middle of Great Chaos. Heartstring Samplery, The Stitching Life. Love everything about it. Even the fact that like half of it is so light you can't see it. So I love the bird. Love the little basket of berries or basket of something. I could use a little more stitching in my life. Yeah. Oh, more little birds. Called for mostly Gentle Arts, 1 or 2 DMCs. There we go. There's them on the fabric. And this one, again, I need to get the border done, and then I can cut that big piece of fabric. And if I remember correctly, the border is hard because the border is not even. $36 count something. Not sure what. So I'd love to get back to her at some point in time, but not really a rush on that one. It's not a blessing sampler. It's not for someone. It's brown on brown. So take some time to get through it. I am a member of the sorry, I didn't. There we go. I am a member of the Facebook group that the homespun needlework group that does the exclusives all the time. And this was one from this summer or June, or this late spring, early summer. Sophia Neal, Whilst Iris Snaps. The only thing the sampler is missing is a house. I wish it had it. It doesn't matter. Those flowers and the trees. These two and this in the middle. Love it. The only 1/1 is her name and her age. And I think it may be like the year down below it. That's the 1/1 part. Not enough to write home about. And so I said yes to everything. Weeks Dye Works with a few DMC was the particular kit that I got. I love these colors. I got the 36 count. Aren't this pretty? Yeah, that orange is just cool. So Sleeping Bear by Needle and Plaques. I've already measured and cut a big huge chunk of the fabric off because I figured out if I could turn it sideways and do a slimmer border, then I could get it in half the linen, because I'm going to end up getting it framed afterwards, and I have enough for the framing. So here we go. Because my framer frames really nice and tight. I don't have the border completely done, over half, and then I went back and started on the top. So I'm gonna get back to her this coming summer. And here's the thing about this WIP parade is I look at all this stuff and I'm like, I'm gonna get back to her this summer. I have 2025 plans. But that's okay. That's all okay. So, this was my first Whilst Diver Snaps Designs pattern to get. And I have already gotten another one. I got Martha Martin for Christmas. And all the threads and fabric, and I want to get her started. I love the way that she does her patterns. They're very easy to read. It's big print. Those of us that are blind as bats, and it's not that I'm a blind as a bat, I have double vision and stigmatism and all the other things. I actually had a surgery on my left eye to help with the double vision. I have not done the right eye. It's not as bad, so I felt like I didn't have to do it. I don't know what it would help. So, but I have plans. That's why I don't have a lot of 40 count. I can barely see it. Okay, my other purchase from the Stitching Post in Maryland when I was there was La Di Da's Flowers for Beatrice, excuse me. I loved that little pot. I went, ooh, I like that. Let me do that. And this is why you probably should open patterns and read them before you decide to buy things. If I had done that, I probably would not have purchased her. So, called 4 weeks with a few DMCs, very pretty colors, even some kind of pretty fabric. This is not the color of the fabric because it's showing up brown, and when I say it, it's kind of a pink brown. I don't know the fabric. The other, and I did a center start. It's very crunchy. It's linen, but it's crunchy. I'm not a fan of that. I also didn't realize that middle alphabet was all eyelets. This is a 32 count. So I started 2 over 2. I had a good practice with eyelets. My eyelets are pretty. I think they are. For 2 over 2. I have already written down restart on this one, and to find a 36 count, something a little less crunchy. Other than that, I do like her. I do want to do it. Just not that fabric and not, this time and place. So. And that Maryland trip, that was probably in 2023, 22, either late 22 or sometime in 23. Again, Time of Great Chaos. Rosewood Manor, Oh Feathers. Again, ignore any pricing because I can't guarantee pricing at stores, at shops. Isn't she pretty? Got this one at the Stitcher's Garden, again, Central Arkansas, over down in Conway. And it came with an assorted pack of sulky threads. I'd never used sulky threads. They're the ones on the on the spools. And they're a little thicker than DMC, kind of like a 1.5. I want to say this is a, I don't know what this is. Did I write it down? Mystery linen. It is not white. Natural, I do not know the count, but it goes with the sulky, so I'm it's probably 28 or 32. Whatever. And I did an upper, I always get this wrong. It was not a center start. So if you look at the pattern, this is probably that little star. But on the other side, excuse me, like, I'm still not holding it right. There we go, sideways. Oh my goodness, yes. I had started down in the corner with these. And then this is the side. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like this side. Gosh. Whew. Directionally challenged. Did I mention toddler? 2-year-old. We haven't slept in a very long time. So, I had started this for a friend of mine who has peacocks, loves peacocks. And it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. I don't mind the fabric and I don't mind the sulky. I love all of that. I mind the color changes and I mind the, just some of the other things about it. But it is pretty. And that friend's not going anywhere. Cross my fingers. So someday I'll get back to it. Okay. This next one, some people talk about whips of shame. This is back from when I first started my channel way back in the day. And this was going to be a stitch along with a lady who, a floss tuber who had started it in support of her son, who has autism. And I went, yes, I love that. I love that idea. And let me see if I can find the picture because I only have the printout. Jessie Watson by Hands Across the Sea. They do have it available still on their website as a PDF download. She is very lovely. I love that green border. I love the house. I love the heart. That was kind of why the mom had done it, or wanted to do it, was for that heart. And she'd organized herself really well to where the heart was going to be like the last month, or it was going to be during autism awareness, something. And anyway, so I got the pattern, I got fabric, I got thread. I'm like, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be part of my floss tube and all this stuff. And then I flaked out. A time of great chaos. I have a little bling. Do small things with great love. Yeah. I had chosen the called for DMCs because I also thought this would be a great opportunity for me to try linen. Which one's the red? $4.98, and then $37.21 is that dark red. I'm going to try 40 count for the first time without understanding that I really need readers. My glasses are not enough. This was like 2021. I had started in the middle. Let's see if I can get this pulled up. With a very light blue. I got 2 letters done. And that's somebody's name. And I've got the pattern printed on 1 page. And that's very hard. There's a lot of hard things about this one. So someday, she's part of my Hands Across the Sea group, which I have gotten more. And I wish I had gotten a real pattern for this one. That would have made this a little better. I have her in one of those other project bags that you can get from Amazon. I'm not a fan of this style. I may have gotten this one actually at Target. Dollar Spot, but it's the mesh that's not mesh. And anyway, not a fan of that style. Okay. That's okay. For those of you keeping count, I said a number earlier and we're actually not. I'm missing one, but that's okay. It's fine. No, I don't have my current one out here. That's okay. This is my big project. Big, awesome, big ass project. The Dutch Beauty. If you watch Fox and Rabbit, if you watch their Flosstube, this is what hangs above his head. And I love it. I love her. I love the goose and the little goslings, and the deer and everything. $17.90. And here's the cool part. I have an antique sampler, a really antique that was part of family somewhere, sister-in-law's family, I don't know who. And it has this little guy, and he's spinning, I think. And but on ours it looks like he's got stock ticker tape. It's kind of weird. This one he looks like he's smoking, so yeah. So I've got Dutch Beauty. I've got a working copy printed. I love that it called for DMC. These are not all the DMCs you need if you do this. However, I bought one of each color, and I figure I can always go back and get more. I can go back to Hobby Lobby and get more as needed. I fell in love with this blue. The purple is kind of mauvey, 37.26. Very pretty. Here's on the fabric. 36 count winter brew, as I mentioned. All the brews, I'll take them. If it says brew at the end, yes please. 39 by 25.5, so it is a big chunk of fabric. That's okay. And I was able to stitch on her one day. November 17th, I wrote it down. I was able to stitch on her that day while listening to Miss Marple by an Agatha Christie book. And I got the deer's horns outline. And I wanted to start there because I wanted to see if I was going to be okay with the color that the deer is in. The deer on the picture, it looks brown. In life, it looks this kind of grayish green sage, gray sage color. And so I've looked at enough of people's pictures, and I went down to the Little Rock shops. Little Rock has it on the wall. And so I went and saw theirs and went, okay, I can do it. It's fine. So they have one in Little Rock hanging on the wall. I purchased it, however, in the Conway shop. So, yay. My last WIP that I'm going to show you, because my current WIP is in the living room. And I've been able to do this without pausing and I'm not going to edit. I'm just going to upload. So I will show that WIP later. Let me go ahead and talk to you about that one. And then I'll show you my last one. My current WIP, which is my blessing sampler, is pretty special, I think. It's Jane Parson, 1841, by the Wishing Thorn. And I have loved the sampler ever since I saw the advertisements on Facebook. Now, the Wishing Thorn comes across my Facebook feed like all the time. And I click on it all the time. I think she does a great job with her reproductions. And she's got an Etsy shop, and you can buy through her website. I don't know if she's in stores. I don't know. Anyway, there she is. The Wishing Thorn, I mean. So Jane Parson is one of her newer samplers. I fell in love with the little bird. Isn't he cute? You just want to rub his dummy. And it's got little puppies at the bottom. And I love the grass. However, I'm just doing like the brown part of the grass right now. So I'm kind of confused about what the grass is doing. And like, I gotta check on some things. I don't know if I have the wrong color. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, she has two different colorways on, two different colorings. On the sampler, there's a lighter and a darker. And she also has wool and flower thread. So two different DMC lists, as well as the wool and the flower thread. But there's the antique. So that's the one I'm working on now for as my blessing sampler. So I will show that in another Flosstube, regular update one, because my goal for that is to be done in January. I started it January 1st. I've got the border done, outlined some of the flowers in, and I'm starting across the bottom because I got to get the grass done, and then that's the big part of it. The last WIP I want to share with you is from Nashville last year. I fell immediately in love with it and ordered it. There we go. And said, yes, me please. The Proverb 31 sampler by Plum Street. That black swan. I was stitching on this in an airport and someone asked me if it was Christmas because it's got that little reindeer in it. And no, not Christmas. She could be. Probably not with the palm tree. So I am almost done with this one. I just have the words left, the 1/1 portion. And with my vision, it's going very slow. I have to do like one letter at a time. And a word could take me 2-3 hours to do. I've already had to take seeks out once or twice. That's where I started at the next row. And I think I'm going to get my startings done. And then I can pick and choose which row I want to do. So that one's slow, but that's okay. When I first started it, this was back in like March, April. Like as soon as I got my hands on it. I started it, got down to like here and did the flower. Like I had this corner done and then I put her away. But I'm going to do other things. Peacocks in the garden. But then once I got Peacocks in the Garden done, I pulled this one out for a travel piece. She's actually an okay travel piece because the border is fairly consistent. Once you get it down and the directions down. And there's chunks of it that you could do. So I took it out with me on that trip and got a good bit done on that trip, work trip. Excuse me. I'm sorry, it's late. Yeah. And then that was September, October, stopped it for October. Except for the words. I'm just one word at a time, one letter at a time. Yeah, not that big. 7x7. Called for floss. I've already put the floss away because I'm only down to the hickory sticks in the words. That's fine, so I could put the floss away. Yeah. I did not write down a start date because it must have been early March because late March was when I went back into the book. And I don't... This may be some more of that antique white or antique something. Anyway, she's pretty. So she stays over there on her, the other part of my desk, and I'll get her back in a hoop pretty soon and do another letter. So that's my WIP parade. We're right at 2 hours. Thank you so much for hanging out, and hopefully it wasn't too bad. I have some things that are really old that I need to either get done or something. I don't know if I'm doing WIP Go. I had joined the group. I don't know how that works with what I've got. Because some things I don't want to work on, and that's okay. There's trauma, there's sadness, there's all kinds of things lurking in the shadows around those pieces, and I don't want to go there. So, and then there was chaos and all kinds of things. Yay! I will get this cleaned up tomorrow. I hope everyone has a lovely evening, morning, afternoon, all the things. And I got my hoops back while going through those. So I like my hoops. I'm thinking about going to a stand, and I don't know yet, for some of my bigger pieces. Like a frame and a stand, but I like my hoops. I like this particular style of hoop. It's the 6-inch hoop that you can get at Hobby Lobby. It's like the perfect size for me in my hand. The 5-inch hoop is a little too small. The 8-inch hoop is a little too big. This actually might be it's a 5 or 4-inch. I can't remember. Anyway, that was a lot. Thank you so much. That was fun. I hope everybody has a lovely time, lovely day, evening, whatever. And we'll see you soon. Bye.